Okay, good morning, everyone. Let's get started. And it's my pleasure to have this training workshop. I know we've been talking about this for quite a while. And before I get started, I'd like to introduce our instruction team. And I feel very lucky to have very strong instruction team today. My name is Jin Ha-jung. I'm a faculty member at Purdue University, Light School of Civil and Construction Engineering, and also have a courtesy appointment at the Agricultural Biological Engineering program at Purdue as well. And Dr. Anjin Chang, and he's a faculty in Tennessee State University and soon to moving to Michigan State University starting from January. And and we have a Chi Sang-woo. He's also a faculty from University of Tennessee. And I'm not sure if you guys know him, and he's very famous in YouTube, LinkedIn. He's publishing a lot of open source packages. So you want to introduce yourself? I already talked a lot about you, but.
Yeah, I'm mostly doing open source geospatial, cloud computing, GeoAI stuff. And yeah, we have been working with Chiha on some of the E2S workshops in the past. And we also have a section tomorrow morning covering how to use AI on drone imaging.
Thank you, Chi-sang. And when I first planned this, I thought that, hey, it's going to be just myself, doing this now. We have, very, the well-qualified TA who's going to help you guys. So if you have any problem while following, what I'm showing on the screen, please raise your hand. Either myself or, Dr. Chang or Dr. Wu, will come to you and help you guys out. And before I get started, I'd like to learn more about you guys. So why don't I'm pretty sure all of you guys know each other, mostly, but assuming that I don't think I know all of you guys. So have a brief introduction, who you are, where you're from, what stage of your the career is. So maybe starting from you.
Hello everyone, my name is Swas. I'm a PhD candidate, trying to get graduate by next year, trying my best. But overall, my PhD research was focused on using drone imagery and genomics data together. And if we can improve our breeding cycle, select faster, or improve the number of crosses. So yeah, trying to use genomics and phenomics all together to improve winter wheat breeding pipeline at South Dakota State University.
So which school?
South Dakota State University.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
My name is Dante Copel. I'm also from SDSU Winter Wheat Breeding Program, working with SWAS. I'm a master's student, hoping to graduate here in the next couple months, so just kind of finishing up, working more genomic selection side, but interested to see what you guys have here today. So.
Thank you. Yeah.
Shannon Baker, you all know me. I'm the education coordinator for this grant and just finished up as a student, defended last month. So move on.
Hey everyone, I'm Tim. I'm a PhD candidate at Cornell in small grains breeding program, working on fine mapping in wheat and also using public data to optimize genomic prediction pipelines.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, I'm Jamie, and I'm from KSU, and I work with ancestral germplasm as the source for PCR midlife resistance. I'm a master's student.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, I'm Kat. I'm third-year PhD student in Kansas State University, and I'm working on disease resistance of wheat.
Thank you.
So I'm Bailey Wong. I'm doing a PhD at Montana State University. Trying to graduate spring 2026, and my project is mainly focused on fine mapping.
Okay.
Howdy everyone, I'm Luke Blackman from Texas A&M, PhD candidate with Shi Lu. Work on fun things like QTL mapping, EUQ, genomics, selection, prediction, stuff.
Okay.
Abdullah Azam. I'm working with Dr. Shivli and working on hybrid wheat and some kind of genomics work. And I'm very interested in this.
Thank you.
My name is Emily, and I'm a second-year master's student, hopefully graduating in spring, and I work on FHD, working with genomic prediction models.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Adriano. I'm a PhD, third year student PhD at Kent State. I work a little bit like Swaz doing, but on pre-breeding framework. And I hope to graduate by summer next year.
Okay. We're going around the room introducing everybody, so say who you are.
My research focus more on high throughput phenotyping, including RGB and hyperspectral.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Mandeep and I'm a PhD student in South Dakota State University, and my research is mainly focused on genetic architecture for root system architecture in wind.
Okay, great. So we have a pretty good turnout. So how many people we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we are only missing one, right?
So we have two Oklahoma State folks that got stranded in Dallas last night. Maybe they'll make it at some point today. And John Luke just texted he'll be here in 45 minutes.
Okay. Great. So let's get started. So we're going to have a long day today. And we have from 9 to 5, and I think we have a lunch break sometime around noon. So we have I think a 9 to 12 is 3 hours in the morning, and in the afternoon we have 4 hours, a total of 7 hours that we're gonna stuck in this room, and we're gonna have a lot of fun, I hope. And essentially, the main outcome that I like to have in this workshop is, I'm assuming that everybody in this room is using some form of UAV data in your research, drone data set. And I'm assuming that you have very basic knowledge about the high throughput phenotyping based on drones. So I'm not going to talk about what it is and how to collect data and how to process those kind of stuff. I'm going to just make an assumption that you guys are already familiar with those kind of topics. And I know that we also, some of your program has been working with the Texas A&M program where you guys are sending this data to Texas A&M. Then they will do the processing, and you have to send that the plot boundaries. Then they will extract some features, and essentially that features being pushed to T3 database so that you have both genomic and phenomic data available from T3 so that you can do your research. And the main objective of this training workshop is essentially we've been catching fish for you, but we like to teach you how to catch fish, so that you don't have to rely on either Texas A&M and Purdue for the things that we've been providing services. You guys can be independent, doing basically whole pipeline starting from once you collect the data, then how you can actually unload this data set to this platform that we're going to talk about, and doing all those analysis that we've been doing for you guys, then you can just do it yourself. So I think that that's a main outcome that I like to do. And I think Shannon sent out an email earlier this week or a week before asking you guys to create an account on the ps2.d2s.org. So I'm assuming everybody already has an account. Everybody has added to that WheatCAP team. So you can see all those drone data set collected from this project. So everybody good? Anybody who doesn't have an account, please raise your hand, because otherwise we're not going to be able to do so. If you don't have an account, what you can do is simply visit this website, ps2.d2s.org. So if you go there, this is how it's going to look like. Let me just sign out, and this is going to be the landing page that you're going to see. Simply click sign up, put your name, email, and password. This password must be at least 12 characters long, and you have to retype the password. Then once you create an account, you will have to confirm your email. Sometimes I found that this email goes to your spam folder. So if it goes to your spam, check your spam folder as well. Then I will approve your account. So I already have one here. we have the group of people who is approving this account creation request, and usually some of my team members beat me, but I just approved the Luke's account, so you should be able to log in once you confirm your email address. Okay, and everybody, I know that you are still working on it. You also have an account on this PS2, everybody, and you. So let me go to my account here. I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna add Luke you to the WheatCAP team. So this is you, right? So I'm added you, so you should be able to see all those in a WheatCAP. And still working on account creation. Yep.
I have a question.
Sure.
So for us, we added to the WheatCAP team, like people from my lab, because I'm graduating, should I ask them also?
Yeah. So whoever is working on this WheatCAP team, just let me know. We can just add you to the team. And I'm gonna probably talk about this later. So this is in a team management page. You can create your own team, and you can add any member to your team, like I showed you earlier, just search by name, and you see the roles. You can assign specific member to be an owner, manager, or just a member. Member is in a read only. So whoever added as a member, you can access all the data as in a read only, but you cannot change anything. Manager, I believe that you can create a new flight and etc. I think you pretty much have all the capabilities, but you cannot delete the project. Owner has full power. You can have all those features that has been added. Plus, if you want, you can delete the project. You have a superpower. So if anybody need to be an either manager or an owner, let me know. I'll be more than happy to add that person to be an owner, so that, for example, if you added as an owner, then if you like to add additional member to this WheatCAP team, you have the privilege to do so. Okay. 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 Let me approve his. So. Oh, see, somebody already approved.
Yeah, already.
Oh, so you already approved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe somebody else.
So Abdul, I think, first one, right? So once you log in, this is how you're gonna see. I have a lot more project, so I'm gonna see a lot more, but some of the features that you can do here is that you can actually filter the project by many. My project is the one that you created. I can also filter by team. I just choose WheatCAP, and this is going to be the map that you're going to see if you don't have any other project. And as you can see, all those WheatCAP project has been created over here, and you all should have an access to it. So everybody, yeah.
It looks like I'm not on the team. Would you mind?
Sure. What is your name?
Emily.
Give me a second. Emily with the E?
EMILY. Yeah.
And
It's the second one.
okay. Give me a second. Yep. So there are many things that we can do. If I just start to talk about all the features we have in this data science platform, this one itself can be hours long, so I'm not going to go through this. Like I mentioned earlier, my main objective of today's workshop is going through the processing pipeline from A to Z. Your starting point is going to be you actually went out to the field, collected the drone data, and you copy that actual raw image to your computer, and that's going to be the starting point. And if we all upload your own data set today, it will take, first of all, a lot of time, and process will take a lot of time as well. So I asked Shannon to see if we can use some of her flight as the guinea pig in this training workshop. So she agreed to do so. So that's going to be the one that I'm going to working on. So if you search for 2025 WheatCAP, And you will see this 2025 WheatCAP training workshop project shown over here. And I'm not gonna just click this one because I need to ask you to download the raw data that I prepared. So let's go to the workspace first, and let's search for 2025 WheatCAP. So I think you're gonna see only one on your end. I was testing it this morning to make sure that what is an upload speed. So click this in a WheatCAP training workshop project. Once you click this, then you will see one flight. Probably this is going to be what you're going to see. So there is a table view or a card view. If you have a multiple flight, you can just each flight shown is on a card. If you have too many, sometimes the flipping through left and right can be a little bit confusing. So we also have a table view over here. But essentially, what you need to do here is click Manage Data. Then you'll see this data product. This is the one that I already processed, but you're gonna be generating this data product later separately. So let's click raw data and click this download button. So you all see this download button over here, right? I already downloaded my end, so I'm not gonna do it, but clicking this, then this will actually download the subset.zip file to your computer, and it is about 800 megabytes. And when I tested this morning, it took me about 2 minutes to download. And I know that we have a lot more people trying to download, so it may take a bit longer. But click download and let the program go. Okay.
Right now it's saying 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Okay. 6 minutes is pretty good with 15 people trying to download it at the same time over the public Wi-Fi. Okay, so let's that download process go, and I'm gonna go back to the project page by clicking this project name, and we also need to download the additional file over here. So what I'm gonna show you later is that if I go to workspace, and you're going to create your own project. Okay. So that you can all actually upload your raw data and actually do the data processing. When you click create, and you have to actually specify what is your project boundary. One way of doing it is zooming in if you know the location. And let's say this is my field over here, then click this polygon icon here, and you can just click through this, and this will set the boundary this way. Or you already have a shapefile or GeoJSON file that has the project boundary, that you can upload that file directly. And you guys don't know the Amarillo the flight location. So what I am asking you to do here is going back to this 2025 WheatCAP training workshop project. I already created one, and you can just click this download button so that you can download this project boundary GeoJSON file to your computer. This is only less than a kilobyte, so this one should be an instant download. So download that, and once you have downloaded this, then you should have these two files on your computer. First one is the 2025 WheatCAP training workshop boundary.geojson, and second one is a subset.zip file. So how is the download going? The raw data has been downloaded?
No, still need to find it.
Okay. Okay, GeoJSON file for you to download. Go to the training, the project website, and there's a location cell over here. This is the one to see where they are located. And this download button is to download this into your computer. Oh, you don't, okay. It's because you guys are the member, you only have a read access. So sorry about that, I haven't thought of it. So for that one, another way of doing it here is we have I prepared the GitHub. So let's not download GeoJSON file from the project page, because unless I just bump you guys up to honor, where you guys have a full power and you may accidentally do so.
So I could get it, I guess, because I'm owner.
Yeah. And I just added, for example, PI of the program has been added to as an owner, so the PI can add their own lab members to this project. But let's go to this GitHub site. So github.com geospatial data science lab /WheatCAP. So can everybody type this in? Everybody is on GitHub page? Okay. And the page that you're gonna go is it's gonna look like this, okay? Then there is a 2025 training workshop. You click this. Then we also have this GeoJSON file located over here. So you can just simply click the file. Then there should be a download raw file link. You can download it from here as well. So make sure you have the raw images that is in GIF file and this GeoJSON. Who needs more time? Everybody has a GeoJSON and raw images on your laptop? All good?
Just a few more minutes.
Okay. I mean, you don't need the raw data right now. We're gonna first create a project. So make sure you have a GeoJSON. Okay? Oh, you know what? I forgot to record my screen. Oof. Start recording. Okay, I lost the recording of the first couple of, maybe 20 minutes. But I'm glad I remember this earlier. Otherwise, you may just have me talking on the recorded video.
So question is, when they want to use their own boundary file, own shape file, just by later, do they need to set up do they need to use a specific coordinate system or?
Shape file, you can use any coordinate system. GeoJSON is OGC standard. GeoJSON is expecting the EPSC of 4326, which is in the latitude and longitude. I know that some GIS software lets you save GeoJSON in UTM, but that is not following the standard. So if you are saving anything that's GeoJSON, everything should be in the latitude and longitude. But if you are storing this as a shape file, simply save it as a shape file, but compress all the shape file into one single G file. Then you can just use that G file later. Then I'm going to show you the process. Okay, so everybody has a GeoJSON file on your computer? Good. So I'm going to go to this Data to Science website. Let's go to the workspace. Now you're going to create your own project. So let's click Create. And a lot of times, if you guys are working on your own field, you know where they are. So you don't need to actually create this file. You just zoom into the field that you are working on. For example, Amarillo, I think I've been, they don't have a base map shown over here. So let's say this is the area that you already have a field over here. Then you don't have to use that, and you can just simply click through. This is one way of creating your project boundary this way. But since we have a GeoJSON file, I'm going to click Create, and you can upload the field boundary, either GeoJSON or JSON, or in case of shapefile, because the shapefile contains multiple files, choosing all the file, compress it into G file. You can upload that G file there as well. But we only, in our case, we have a GeoJSON, so I'm going to click this upload field boundary, and you can drag and drop that GeoJSON or G file here, or you can click Browse File, then choose the GeoJSON file that you just downloaded, click Open, okay? Then you have to click upload the file that you just selected. Choose that one, then they will generate this in a boundary automatically on the map. And we are looking at such a small area, and the base map that we use doesn't have enough zoom level. That's the reason why you don't see that the base map layer. But I think this is a whole Amarillo 2025 irrigated the plot, but I only subset it in a smaller area where that we are pushing all those phenotypic information to T3 database. So we just have a boundary already set. Now you need to give a title that you can remember so that you can just look it up. So I'm going to say 2025 WheatCAP. You can just put whatever you want, but I'm going to just say that training workshop test. This is a test project I will use for 2025 WheatCAP training workshop.
Anybody else? Maybe able uploading the file?
Everybody was able to set the boundary okay? You have some issue?
Yes, it's upload like able, so I don't know if it's some kind of backend.
Let's.
So, yeah, someone cannot download the JSON file, so JSON file.
Yeah, so is it kind of permission issue or something?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he has has the same problem.
You connect to the internet. Let's create a new one to see.
The trial was planned on December 1st, 2024. Start date.
I've never seen this before. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Simply refresh the page. Yeah, refresh the page and.
Just like, can you just cancel and then create it? And then upload first. Upload first and then type.
Let's give a few minutes until we can solve the problem. Okay. So set the title and set the description. We have a project start and end date. In your case, if you know the planting and harvest date, you can just put that information there as well. You can assign this in a project to a certain team as well. I have a lot. So if you like this project to be available for the WheatCAP team, you can just do it. But this is training workshop, so I don't want to mess up this in a WheatCAP project. So don't assign to any team yet. And once you have everything, and I'm gonna just Sean.
Can you guys create a team? Can you add a team? I'm not able to add a team. Okay. We cannot add it to a team. Do we need to?
No, I'm saying that don't assign to a team because
So
this is
planting date was December 1st, 2024.
December 1st. Okay.
Yeah, 12/01/2024.
And harvest.
Project probably 06/30/2025.
Okay. So this, you don't have to use the exact number, but just for the sake of completeness of your project, you can just put your the start date and the end date, and simply click create. Then it will be created. Now I think depending on what kind of sorting option that you use, it may show up in your page. But I just sort by recent flight, so that I can just see whatever the newly added data, it shows here automatically. So next up is you can just search for whatever the title or in a description keyword that you used. And you just type that in.
I cannot add to a team and I cannot create the project.
What do you mean?
It won't let me click create because a team is required.
No, a team is not required because you uploaded this is a plot boundary, not the project boundary.
Okay.
So
I need to get something.
click delete. And you know what? Let's just create it again. Can you just repeat this again? So, do you have downloaded that boundary?
Yes.
So, just not the plot boundary, but the project boundary. Go to the. Do you have what is that, GitHub page?
Oh, I didn't go to the GitHub page.
Yeah. Let me just open this up.
Okay.
'Cause I know.
Sorry, guys.
Close this one first.
Yeah. Let me go to GitHub.
Since I could already see the plot boundaries, I didn't do the GitHub stuff. I missed it.
GitHub.com. See this and WheatCAP. Here, then training workshop.
Sorry.
No problem. Download this. Yeah. Then you can use that one to create a project. Okay. So once you create a project and choose the one that you just created, in this case, this is the one that I created. So I'm going to choose this project. Then now, because you created it, you are the owner of this project, that you have full power. So you're going to see a lot more, the button shows up over here. Deactivate project is essentially deleting the project. First, you need to create a flight. So let's say that, hey, you actually went out to the field, collect the drone data. Inside the project, you have to collect your flight first. So I'm going to click add new flight. And you can give you a name of the flight if you want. You can leave it in a blank. This is an optional. But I know this is an RGB sensor in the flight, so I'm going to put an RGB over there. And acquisition date was 04/28/2025. And
I can't upload that. It's failing.
yeah, maybe TA can help. Shannon, what is the altitude of this flight?
70 meters.
70 meter. And the overlap was 80?
80.
80?
I think so.
Yeah, and RGB, it was in the P1 on M300, right?
Yeah.
So RGB and M300, and probably it only has your name on it because you are the only one who has access to this project this moment. So type that in. Once you're happy with it, click create. I'm going to wait here a little bit so that somebody need to copy the number that you see from the screen onto your laptop.
Just hold up till I catch up.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just curious for the flight's date.
Mhm.
That has to be the exact that date.
I mean, it's up to you. If you collect the data yesterday, you put the date today, but this is going to be the the metadata that is we're going to later talk about and how we're going to publish the data. And if you put whatever date, and the people think that that data was collected on that date, you specify. So, use your freedom to put whatever that you want to put, but the others. When the members from the WheatCAP team is using your data set to the analysis, they will think that, hey, these data are collected on whatever that you put, over there. Yep.
I guess a similar type of question. When we made that initial field boundary, when we created the project, is it super important that it's actually the corners of the field, or that's just for?
The boundaries, mainly whenever you open up the project, and I'm going to show you later, going to the home page, you choose the project, they just zoom into that boundary. So this is kind of placeholder so that we know which area we need to zoom in to see the data product.
But that's not for actual analysis. So you're not going to use the boundary to.
Yeah, but there are some advanced cases where, hey, you guys done drone data processing. You usually collect the data outside of your field boundary, and you don't like these images to have all those zigzag the not clean line, and we can later write a script to say that, hey, I like to do a clip of all this data product using this boundary so that everything is going to look very clean. In that case, that might be an important the boundary you need to set it correctly. Okay. So everybody is good. So click create. Then now you will see a new flight card is added. Okay. Now, if you want to edit the information that you just entered, click Edit Flight, then you can come back, change whatever the information that you want. And there is a button that you see over here. This is obvious. I don't need to explain what it is. To delete the flight. And this button, for example, for some reason, hey, I uploaded this flight to wrong project. Then I'd like to move this flight to another project. This is the Move button. So, hey, select the project that you like to move to. Okay, so you can just move this in a whole flight to another project if you want to. Okay, then I'm gonna click Manage Data. So let's do this. And this is what you're gonna see. And if you already have processed data using Pix4D, Metashape, OpenRoom, whatever that is, then you can click simply click Upload Data Product. If it is auto, so just click auto and drag and drop that TIFF file over here. Click Upload. If it is in a point cloud, in a DEM, you can just do it that way. I think I'm not going to talk about panoramic or 3D Gaussian split because this is not the topic of this workshop. If you, for example, calculate NDVI, then they just click Other, type NDVI over here, and drag and drop that TIFF file over there as well. But we're not going to do this because, like I mentioned earlier, you just collected the data assuming that you don't have even computing software to generate all those data products. So we are going to upload the data to your own project that you just created. So let's go to the raw data. And I'm going to click Upload Raw Data here. And you can drag and drop the subset.zip file that you downloaded. Or I'm going to just browse file, choose that the file that you just downloaded. And click Upload File, one file, click that one. Now this will upload the raw data you downloaded to the project that you just created. Okay, so click this. I think this will take about approximately the same time that you downloaded the data. So I'm going to just click it. Oh, it is a lot slower. Hopefully it doesn't take this long. So let it running in the background. We're going to do something else and then come back to this point. Okay?
Quick question.
Yeah.
So do you guys also store the raw data over there, or it gets deleted after a certain?
It's all stores in over there.
Okay.
So you can use this as a kind of another backup. Because you can, I like it, showed you, that anybody who has an access to project they can download raw data to a computer and they use other software to process it.
Is there any limit for the storage?
No. I mean, to be technically correct, 180 terabyte of storage is the limit that we got right now. But we are not even close to, I think as of today, we only use 32 terabytes. So we have about 150 terabytes to go. And we just also in communication with the AWS, and potentially AWS is going to give us storage up to petabyte of storage on the AWS in the cloud. So if that deal goes, move on, then no, you don't have any worry. You don't have to worry about the storage limit. So, okay. So this one is going. So it says in 5 minutes, let it running. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to open up another page tab, and let's go to this PS2. Open this up, and let me show you some of the basic features that you can do. So I'm going to play with this during the 2025 WheatCAP project that I just you guys downloaded raw data from. So you see that the 2025 WheatCAP training workshop. Let's click this in the project, and like I mentioned earlier, this map will zoom into the area that where the boundary is set automatically. Okay. And from here, you're going to see different, the flight will be shown as on a card. And there is an arrow here. It says how many data product that you got. And you can also see many other information available. So this is an RGB flight within flown at M300, flown at the 70 meter. And if you like to see the data product, simply click this in the card here, and it will show you all the data product associated with the flight. So we have orthomosaic images. I also calculate EXG. I will show you how to do this. We have a digital elevation model there, and we also have a point cloud. So if you like to see the orthomosaic images that is generated out of this, simply click this button, and it will show the orthomosaic images that is created from this product. Okay, now you can just start to zoom in, and you will see actual high resolution images being rendered on your screen. It's good. And this is an RGB, so it only has 3-band, 4th band is an alpha channel, so to take care of those transparency at the edges. So this is not the multispectral, simply 4th band is telling you which pixel is transparent, which pixel is not. So only first 3 band is in a meaningful band over here, and the first band, red is in a B1, green is in a B2 and B3. For some reason you would like to do the different combination, I like to do 3 to 1. For example, then they will change the color on the fly this way as well. I'm going to go back to 1 to 3 because this is in a natural color. And they also do, by default, the min-max value based on whatever the metadata says, so what is the minimum maximum value. But I like to do different min-max value over here. And let's say I like to make it this more green, so set the red mean value to be 100. And that they will stretch the color based on whatever the value that you specify over there. You can also do mean plus my standard deviation. I'm going to say 1. Then they will actually do an actual image rendering on the fly, this way. But we can just go back to min-max value. Okay. And let's say you like to share this view that you are looking at with others. This share button is the one that you can do. Easiest way to do it is, let me say, I'm going to do just some, the crazy, the different renderings. I'm going to just go back to this, reddish color over here. And if you, for some reason, like to keep this view next time you come back, if you click Save Changes, and this will be saved in your personal settings. So next time you come back to these images, this will be shown in this way. But we are all accessing the same project. This is in my view. This does not affect your view, because even though we are looking at the same one over here. So let's say I'm going to go back to DEM. Then if I come back to this orthomosaic again, I still have that view that I saved in your setting remains available. Okay? But you guys are seeing different color rendering than I am showing over here, because this color rendering information is saved into the database for individual users. And if you like to share this with others, like I said, click Share button, it's going to show up. And it has, by default, restricted, meaning that the only person who has an account on this platform and also added to this project can see the data. Okay? So if I just copy this in a share URL, and if I open up a private window, just another window where I'm not logged in, if I paste that link, I think I'm maybe, yeah. It says, hey, please log in, because this is restricted. If you don't have an account, if you are not added to the team, you cannot see this data. But if you just make this layer available to anyone, okay? Then I'm going to copy this in the URL one more time, and going back to another viewer over here. Then let me just paste the link one more time. Now, see that I'm not logged in, but I can still see this data right away. So if you like to share this data set with others, simply go back to this window here. You can just make it available to anyone, and simply copy this URL and send this link to the others. Then the other person should be able to open up this data set very easily. And we also added a new features called the QR code over here. So if you guys have your smartphone, just scan this, and you will see the reddish kind of rendering showing up on your the smartphone right away. So this is another handy way of, for example, you have your drone flight, you have a presentation you like to show actual images in your presentation, you can just download this QR code, include in your slide, and everybody can scan, and they should be able to actually interact. This is an interactive map, so you can just zoom in with your the pinch zoom, and they will actually render this original resolution images on the fly. Looks fine. Okay. So this is the raster images and rendering, and we also have a DEM. So this is a single band images, and single band images we also do color mapping as well, because if you just show this in a single band images, it looks like in a grayscale images. It is not as contrasty as this kind of map, so you cannot see that the contrast very well. And the same thing over here, you have a mean, median, and average, mean, max, and a standard deviation variation over here. You can choose whatever the color map that you want. For example, I'm going to choose an ocean color. Choose this one, then they will show the color, whatever the color map that you just chosen. You can change the transparency so that you can see the basement layer. And you can also, this is the min max value that we got. We can also specify, hey, I'm only like to show up to 1131. Then, oops, I think 1131 is too little, 1132. Then they will just do the color stretching based on whatever the value that you got. But I'm going to just go back to the min max value. And the same thing here, you can do the share button to share with others. I think this is pretty much the same. Okay. Next one is you can also visualize a point cloud. So if you click this in a point cloud, you just click this. Then the point cloud that was generated from the drone data set will be loaded here. So you can just zoom in and rotate it around, then you can actually see this in a point cloud right away from here. And if you like to share this in a point cloud view with others, let me go back to this one here. They don't have a share button over here. So in order for you to share it, you have to actually go to the workspace, search for the project that you're working on, WheatCAP. Believe this is the one that we have it. Go to manage data and go to data product. And this point cloud here, there is a lock icon over here. This is same as the share button in the raster image view. So you just simply click anyone. I'm going to generate the QR code, and you can just scan this QR code on your smartphone. Then you should be able to do the 3D rendering on your smartphone right away as well. So. Does it work on your smartphone? It is loading up. Yes. Yep. So it's in a kind of very handy way of sharing this data set with others. And the good thing about this is you have a full control. You can lock it up so that nobody else can see it. You can share this with a very specific people, or you can just make it available to anyone. But people cannot Google it, because we don't publish this information. Only person with the link can actually access this data. So if you guys doing any YouTube, you just upload the YouTube. There is a three different way of uploading your video: private, and unlisted, and public. Right? So unlisted is almost same as this picture over here. You make it available, but only person who has the link can actually see the data. And this one is also read only. If they can just see the data, but they cannot download the actual original data that was used to visualize to their computer. They can only visualize it.
The upload finished.
Upload finished? Okay. Let's see. Go back. Upload is finished mine. So how about others? Everyone else upload is done? Good. And once you're done with upload, click done. Then now you will see this, the raw data. Data shows up over here. Then there is a process button shows up. And this raw data processing feature is not available to everybody, and because we are using Metashape in the backend, and I added these features to the WheatCAP team only. So if somebody created an account and they just upload the raw data, they cannot process their raw data. This is kind of a very small group of people that, because of the license issue, we cannot just provide these features to everybody for free, because this Metashape license is not a commercial license. This is an educational license we purchased, and we can only use it for research, not for the commercial purposes. But this WheatCAP project is a part of research. I can give you guys an access to this one. So let's say this is going to be the part that it's going to take quite a while, and you guys have done any drone data processing. This is, process takes in a lot of time, right? But good thing about this one is that we have a GPU cluster configured at the Purdue data center. So once you process it, this data set is pushed to the GPU cluster. They're going to do the parallel processing and push the process data back. I've never done this many number of projects doing raw data processing concurrently. So this will be the stress test of our GPU cluster, how they can handle. So how many we have? How many? 2, 6, 10, 12, and 13. Probably some of I'll be testing it. So almost 15 project the concurrently doing the processing. So let's see how it goes. So the way how it goes, click process. And if you guys used a Metashape before, this is exactly the same as a Metashape. You need to choose single camera, which is an RGB. Multi-camera is in a multispectral. So in this case, we are using the RGB camera, so I'm going to stay with a single. You can choose the align photo accuracy to be low, medium, high. That I always set high. So let's say set high over here. Build point cloud density quality, low, medium, high. I'm going to just put high. So let's choose single camera, high, high. I'm not going to change any key point and type point settings. If you really want to do additional tweaking, there is an advanced the setting options, which will open up a lot more options that you can set in Metashape. But most of the cases, I'm going to stay with this in a basic setting. Simply RGB for single, multispectral for multi. Set high, high, leave everything as in a default. And I just don't you to accidentally submit a job without knowing exactly what you want to do. So you have to click this checkbox before you actually submit a job. Okay? So everybody, single, high, high, 40,000, 4,000, check to proceed. If you're ready, simply click submit job. Then now all this data is pushed to the GPU cluster, and they will do the data processing. Soon you're going to see that progress bar will move. Depending on who submitted first, your job will go first. And I think I tested it. It takes about, for this data, this is about 1 gigabyte, right? Yeah. And I think it took me about, 5 minutes to process the flight. So we have about, how many? 15. So it'll take a while.
Yeah, and adding one comment, if we want to take a look at the more parameters in the advanced setting, so you can go to the agisoft.com, the companies the software companies, the Metashape company, and you can find some tutorials about that in there. So there is also model generations without the GCP. Yeah. So that is the title of the tutorial. And in that file, you can find that information about those settings. Yeah. So if you want to change it or try to use advanced settings, just you can take a look at the file and you can try it.
Yeah. So thank you, AJ, for the message. This data processing is without any GCPs. So this one assumes that this drone was flown in RTK already correction. So all those individual location is already collected. And if for some reason, if you have to do all those GCP digitization, we cannot use this in automated process. You will have to actually download this data to your local machine, and you have to do manual process on your computer, generate the data product. You just download this data product using the data product tab. I showed you, upload data product, choose and also drag and drop, upload. You have to do it that way. But
did anyone have to give up their drone this year? Because we did, and we no longer have a drone. We're working on getting one. It should have RTK. Another plant breeder at my institution uses this, so I've decided to go with that platform versus some of the others that are recommended. So, you know, how many different types of drones have you tested this with? Because when I was uploading these, I'd come in from the field with this, you know, M300 RTK, and they'd upload in minutes, and I'd have an ortho before I went home for the day.
yeah, I mean, like I said, we have a GPU cluster, so let's say if your raw images is 20 gigabyte, I can say that it will be processed, you know, if no one else is in processing, it will be generated in about 20, 25 minutes-ish. Less than 30 minutes, you'll have this data set, you know, available to you guys, you know, right away. And you guys know, if you have done any data processing, that was extremely fast. Yeah, yeah. But you see, mine is already 30%. I'm not sure what is your percentage right now. 35. So you see, this many people is in processing data. They actually are doing a job. Okay, but we'll see how it goes.
Maybe we can do the T3 sandbox part.
Yeah, that's exactly about that. I'm gonna. So we've been spending about an hour. I think that this is a good point to take a quick break so that this process is being finished. And Jean-Luc is from Cornell will take over from here. Do you want to take about 5-minute break? Okay, I think it's a good idea. So let's take in a 5-minute break. This is in a 9:58, so 10:05 we will come back and we'll talk about the T3 database. You have a question?
So we have about 13
Okay, good.
should actually be me.
Okay.
So 2 Oklahoma State guys got stuck at Dallas Fort Worth